I just pushed the button. We finna go live. We got 1, 2, 3. Hi guys, how y'all doing? I'm Doug Best, man. This is like a special treat tonight. But I gotta tell everybody out there, I done studied so many debates. I'm tired of studying debates. But tonight, we talking to some folks that's from my neighborhood, District 7, City Council, District 7. I'm Doug. I'm Doug, and this is the Doug Best Show. And what I want you guys to do tonight is something a little different than what they always do. You could call in. You could call in, and I'm going to get the sign 1 second, but the number is 559-704-3785. And we got 3 distinguished people that's running for City Council, District 7. And Ms. Lott, I know you got to leave soon, but I just want to say to everybody out there, I never voted in my entire life, never. But what I did today, I registered to vote. And then what I'm going to try to do.
That's a win.
This is a win. I registered to vote, and I'm going to try to see if I can get one of you guys. I got this thing in the mail. Man, this the honest to God truth. I've been successful in the business realm, but like a lot of people, I talked to my sister, my cousin, all kinds of people. They said, man, them people are just going to talk and say all kinds of stuff, and ain't nothing going to change. And guys, I just want to see if we could do something tonight real quick, and I'm finna give you guys the microphone. Everybody then heard all the issues. And most of us, we judge the politicians off of Donald Trump, whether you love him or like him, or don't like him. But everybody said they going to oversell and underdeliver. But guys, tonight, AJ, can we see if you got a sense of humor a little bit tonight, man? Can we have a few smiles?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So
There it is.
yeah. We're gonna start with AJ. AJ, introduce yourself. Then you go to Miss Lott. Then you go to Nav, and then the show is gonna be you guys. And I'm gonna ask you a few questions. We're gonna keep it civil, because at the end of the day, after this thing is said and done, we're gonna see each other somewhere. June the 2nd is the primary. One of you guys could knock this thing out the park tonight, and on June 2nd, you don't have to keep doing everything that you're doing. AJ, take it away. Introduce yourself. Tell the people your vision. You got 3 minutes. I'm going to push the clock.
Yeah, my name is AJ Rassamni. I am not a politician. I'm a community advocate. The reason I decided to run is because, like you, I didn't like the direction city's going. So if you look at the homeless issues, you look at affordability, at the road, sidewalks, education, the power, how much we pay for utility, the city in the last 5 years has been moving backwards. So I'm a problem solver, and those are problems that we can solve. They're solvable problems. I'm a businessman. I've written 3 books. I traveled the world to speak, to consult. I've consulted people going to court, put them on the table, and solve the problem. I can think out of the box to come up with a solution. But I'm also a past president, the past president of Big Brothers Big Sisters in Central Valley. 2016, when I saw the problem with the homeless issues in Fresno, I founded the Blackstone Merchant Association to confront the homelessness and safety in the area, helping residents and helping businesses. 2022, I saw the problem with education. Our education is below national average. So I founded Success From Within. It's a nonprofit that we help kids, motivate kids, and give them incentive to improve their grades. And we had great results last year. So again, I'm running because I know how to move the city forward. I know how to come up with a solution. And I have proven results of doing it on Blackstone. Like 2018, we clear Blackstone from the homeless encampment between Shield and Ashland. We did that. I'm the one right after COVID. Lafayette Park was full of homeless people. I was able, with the help of the code enforcer, we cleaned that park, and we had a big soccer tournament. 700 people showed up, and since then we took over. The family took over in that park. So I've done it so many times, and that's why I'm running, because we need real solutions, and it's enough is enough. If you're sick and tired from the direction city is going, I'm an independent person. I'm running to have real solution to put you, your family, your community before politics.
Yeah, AJ, you still got another minute. You got nervous? Keep talking to the people.
So I don't have. No, I think it's fine. It's fine. I said what I have to say.
Okay, great. And then Ms. Lott, introduce yourself and talk to the people. You're on the Doug Best Show. You could call in. You could call in at 559-704-3785, or you can ask the question here. We on Facebook Live. Ask her a question. And yeah, Ms. Lott, go ahead.
Buenas noches, all. Ariana Martinez Lott. So I actually go by Miss Martinez Lott. And I
Lo
have...
siento.
No, está bien, está bien. Tú tienes una señorita. Tú tienes que saber. Martinez Lott, ¿verdad?
Sí.
So my family and I have actually lived in the district since 2018. My husband and I have been married for 10 years. He is a teacher, and we have 2 kids. So the Bernie neighborhood of District 7 is really the home my children have, the only home my children have ever known. And so for the last 15 years, I've actually been really involved working with a lot of our neighbors throughout different neighborhoods in our city, as we have together been advocating for the necessary resources in a lot of the neighborhoods that we know oftentimes gets too left behind. The resources continue to move up north. They continue to move towards the eastern part of the city. Time and time again, the city continues to grow outward, and it is our neighborhoods that end up taking the hits because our streets aren't safe for our kids to walk in, and our parks are really torn up. I was actually just canvassing, talking to neighbors right before coming here, and I was talking to a neighbor that she is really worried because she is having to pay $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. That is more than my mortgage, and for her, she doesn't know at what point she is going to be able to afford to have a home to live in. And so that is the reality of a lot of our families that are living in our district. And to be very upfront with you, I never thought I'd see myself running for office. But I am really proud to have been working alongside neighbors for the last 15 years and now looking to bring in some of those lived experiences and how we are shaping the policies that impact our everyday lives, whether it's on our homes, on our blocks, in our neighborhoods. And that is really what City Council does. They have a lot of influence in how our neighborhoods are being shaped. And another big reason I decided to run was my oldest daughter is 7 years old. And we have been taking our kids to our neighborhood park at Radio Park for the last 7 years, ever since they were in my literal belly. And my kids have played alone the majority of their lives because all of their friends, their parents tell me the same things. A lot of my neighbors tell me the same thing. They don't feel safe taking their kids to our neighborhood park because of a lot of the safety issues. And our park sat years behind construction schedule. And so ultimately, it is these kinds of decisions or lack of actions that continue to leave our neighborhoods behind. And so ultimately, for me, it's about making sure that the everyday people are at the forefront of the decisions being made at City Hall.
Yeah,
Was that exactly 3 minutes?
on time.
Look at that.
3 seconds over, boy. You're a great speaker.
I was in Latina time.
Now that's beautiful. Color folk sounds. Black people are so slow. It's true. So it ain't racist because I'm saying that. Hey guys, you guys on the Doug Best Show, and I got to tell you something before we go to you, Nab, real fast. I never in my life really paid attention to politics, but lately I've been paying attention to this. Man, I'm gonna take my hat off to whoever wins. AJ, Miss Martinez Lott, and Navkaran Gurm. Man, this is a lot of work. Even for me doing the podcast, it's a lot of work. I don't see how you guys do it. I watch and watch. You come here, you probably left something else, you probably left work, and then you came here. Then you got to leave here. Then you got to go study the issues. Then you got to answer the emails. Then you got to watch the Facebook and the social media. Guys, this is a lot of work. So whoever wins, we're going to take our hats off to you. Nav, take it away and talk to us and give us your vision.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Doug, for the invite and putting this together. Thank you for also being an informed resident and a voter, and excited to
First time, though, baby.
Yes.
see you participate. And yeah, I've been watching your show and the amount of guests you brought on over the last few weeks. You've got everyone on, so that's impressive, and I think that is also a form of public service. So we thank you.
Okay,
I want
great.
to thank Ariana and AJ for joining today. A little bit more about me. My name is Navkaran Gurm, proud product of this community. I've had the good fortune of going away a few times, but each time I return to Fresno, more motivated about the potential for Fresno and the potential of our city's future. So after high school, I went off to UCLA, studied economics, graduated, actually moved back and worked at Fresno City Hall for about a year and a half. Decided I wanted to continue my education, went up to law school in Davis and stayed in Sacramento for a bit. And really, Fresno's the 5th largest city in California, but we don't act like it. And Sacramento's smaller than us, but they have so much more. So for me, it's decided to run because the impacts, the decisions made at City Hall have a direct impact on the everyday life of residents and the Fresno we can build. The housing, when it comes to housing, where we build housing, how much housing we build. When it comes to our streets, what streets get fixed and what don't. When it comes to our park conditions. So I wanted to bring a proactive voice to City Hall and jumped in this race and look forward to the conversation today.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Nam. I just want to ask about the parks. We got a park right there on First Street in between Dakota and Shields. You guys familiar with that one, right?
Manchester Park, yep.
Right. I remember, I guess about a year or so ago, AJ, you remember?
Yes.
And Mary, it was like, I'm trying to say the word right, the homeless. Is that a negative or a bad word? That's a good word. It was a lot of homeless, a lot of vagrants over there, and I walk all the time. And me and the Senorita didn't walk that door, so we go to the other direction down there. I think it's University Park. Were any one of you guys involved in help cleaning that park up? You know the one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember? You know that one, Miss Martinez Lott? Was that the park that you was concerned about?
So it's pretty close. So the Manchester neighborhood is actually neighbors with my neighborhood. We're over at Bernie, so on Clinton and First. Okay. And the Manchester Park is a basin park, meaning that it's owned by the flood control district. And so that's one of the initiatives that I'm really excited about because under Measure P, there is a community-driven effort to bring in more funding to fix our parks. And again, this was championed by everyday people because the city just wasn't putting in money to fix our parks for decades. And now we have this funding source that is helping us fix our parks. And shout out to a lot of the people that helped make that happen. And under that funding, it's giving us the opportunity to partner with the flood control district so that the city can help bring in funding to put in like a playground at a basin, even though it's not our city parks, but it's going to give us the opportunity to really bring more life in. But similar to you, Doug, it's our neighbors, they have the same thing. And I will say that because my husband and I take our kids to the park a lot, there are a lot of people that are unhoused and are living there. And we'll go, it is kind of like, is it okay to bring our kids? And then there's people that are staying at the playground and then they will tell each other, hey, there's a family here. Right. Let's give them some space. So I think that's really cool, right? Like it's this part of humanity that we're seeing each other, even though it's really complex and people want to be able to take their kids to a safe park. But I'm really excited about some of those funding opportunities to work to bring some of these basins and bring in like playgrounds or what else does the neighborhood want to see there?
What about the other AJ and Nav? You guys got any comments?
Yeah, I mean, really echoing a lot of what Ariana said. When it comes to our city parks across the board, Measure P was supposed to be that funding source to really reinvent our parks and make them thrive.
For all parks, just District 7?
All parks in the city of Fresno.
Okay.
So Measure P was passed in 2018, and then there was some litigation, and it got enacted around 2021. And really, by and large, across District 7, as I've been knocking on doors, people aren't seeing the results of Measure P. They consistently bring up, we voted for this measure many years ago, but my park isn't getting better. There is not a new park in our neighborhood. Oh, you're good. So really for me, it's showing people that government can deliver and government can work, and seeing, and ensuring that any sort of measure passing or any sort of funding the city has, it's going directly into helping and improving people's daily quality of life issues, whether it's our roads or our parks. Want to ensure that, the policies we pass as a community get chartered back into action for the residents.
AJ, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm actually curious, Nav, because you worked for our current council member for a couple of years, and that's when we were experiencing a lot of delays with construction in our park.
Yeah, and
That's Nelson. What current park?
Councilmember Nelson Esparza.
So how do you ensure that they're actually moving forward?
We were so I actually did a lot of work right around Manchester Park in terms of working.
I'm talking
with
about
Nelson.
Radio Park.
Radio Park has a lot of funding that is coming down the pipeline, and if I'm the next council member, we're going to work diligently to make sure that those goals are actually being realized.
Well, it's actually already under construction, but I'm curious why it experienced so much delay when you worked under our current council member.
I wasn't directly involved in that project, and you would have to ask Nelson.
So what are they doing over there? I thought they was building something. I was just over there earlier today. You talking about right on First and Clinton?
Yes, really excited. They're redoing it completely.
I see
We
that
actually
big
were
right there.
taking our kids in the strollers to the community meetings. There was a lot of community that came out to help speak into it. So they're putting in a playground. They're putting in 2 different playgrounds and then a really nice walking path. And that park is used a lot for our soccer community, so they are protecting a lot of the green space to have a soccer field still. And then another really good thing for our neighborhoods and the surrounding neighborhoods is they're going to put in a splash pad, like they have in different areas of town where they're putting in for the water structures, especially in Fresno heat.
Yeah. AJ,
So-
go ahead.
Yes, I need to answer the question. So again, I never worked for the city. I'm always a civilian. I'm a community advocate. So first I want to talk about Lafayette Park. I said we cleaned Lafayette Park after COVID. It was full of homeless, gang members taking over.
Where's that one at?
It's on
Blackstone and Princeton.
Yeah, Blackstone, Princeton. Thank you. So we're able to clean it. And then I got a call actually to go help at Manchester. And then I got the code enforcer involved because the code enforcer worked with me full time on Blackstone as a Blackstone Merchant Association. So we went to Manchester Park. I got the director involved, Aaron Aguilera. He met us there. We got improvement there. And then the code enforcer and I were there on a regular basis, making it uncomfortable for the homeless people to be there, and we're able to clean the park too. So when people cannot walk to the park and it's not safe, it's really always comes down. We have homeless people, we have drug dealers, we have mentally ill people taking over the park. So we need to get the parks back to the community. And that's what we did at, which I'm very proud, again, at Lafayette, and we did it at Manchester Park.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, guys. And so Miss Martinez Lott, so I'm just making sure that you're not saying that Nav wasn't doing his job when he was working for Nelson. But Nav, you saying that
I'm just asking.
No,
Some
the
insight.
it's a fair question. I was.
This is what a debate is all about.
I was a
Put the
legislative
feet
staffer.
to the fire.
I was a legislative staffer at City Hall. Got to really work on more citywide policy projects. And a lot of my work at City Hall was reviewing the city agenda and putting in notes for the council member before council meetings, and coming up with policies. I worked with Councilmember Esparza. One of the coolest things I think I got to work on, it actually inspired me to go to law school, was the city's eviction protection program. Councilmember Esparza and Maxwell teamed up to create a legal defense fund on folks that may be potentially being illegally evicted. So. Got to work on a lot of cool stuff while I was at City Hall. That was my first job out of college, and then decided I wanted to go to law school.
That's great, yeah.
So I want to add something. I want to agree with Ariana because I know what Ariana is asking.
They getting warmed up now, baby.
Because you always try to take
You got a
credit
lot of
for
questions
something.
here.
You take credit for something you really didn't do and try to make it like it's yours and you took credit. And I think that's what you're saying. That's what I also see, the same thing, isn't it?
I just want to give a shout out to the community that really helped push for our eviction protection program, because there was a lot of organizations, people that were experiencing eviction that really helped champion this policy. So for what it's worth, I really want to ensure that give credit where credit is due. And of course, we need council members that help bring it forward in the process. But there was a lot of people that were a part of that effort.
Yeah, and now to say I'm a board member of PAL, the Police Activity League, and I'm also a member of the East Fresno Kiwanis, and we use the parks a lot. So it's very important to have something after school so the kids can go to, so they don't go to the street, because when they go home, if nobody's home, they go to the street, they're going to belong to that family. So park is very important for the families to be there. Like at Lafayette Park, we're able to get the senior citizens there to have activities. We went, the code enforcement, we went to the nearby schools in the area, and we got the kids to go there after school, study there and play there. So the park, it's something very important for any community to have it so they can prosper and they can be in a good environment.
Yeah, guys, just stay with me real fast. It's a lot of questions here on Facebook. Nobody's calling that. Can I ask you guys just say some of the stuff? I won't say the people's names, so I don't want nobody to be
Sounds
mad.
good.
At me. Johnny Lee, he's in another city, but he's not in District 7. He says Johnny Lee is watching. Mary, I won't say her whole name. She's fact checking. That the Manchester Park advocacy was started in the neighborhood in 2023. And just stay with me, guys. And so actually, AJ's corner, AJ's questions was challenged, and I'm going up.
Yeah.
Just stay with me real fast. Oswald in Phoenix, Arizona says he's watching.
You got people all around the country.
I'm watching. So Fresh Gennaro says, I love her. Miss Martinez Lott, aggressive line of questioning. Just stay with me. I'm just going by what the people are saying right here. And then anybody out there just watching, you could say something. It says, hopefully I can spell his name right. Guillermo. How do I say that, Miss Martinez? Guillermo Moreno. He says, yes, great questions, Ariana. And then Javian Jones says, hey, and I'm not going to go too much more. And I'm going to go down just a little more further. It says, Nelson, the former city council or the city council, Aaron Aguire and Adam Johnson can verify. But I guess Nab, they're trying to get on your back, right? But Nab saying that, you wasn't in control. You was just working in that capacity.
Well, I will say, as someone who worked at City Hall and under a different council office, that's one of the things that I was most proud of as a council assistant, was overseeing the different parks projects and being very proactive with working with our parks department, because I have a lot of respect for our parks department. They're carrying a lot of projects, but they're also overseeing the entire city. So it's our responsibility as council office to see how we can support them to ensure that our projects are moving down the pipeline. So one of the things that I would proactively do was have check-ins with the departments and ask them, okay, and Doug, I love that you're having this podcast and that you just registered to vote and that you're learning about City Hall, because that is what we need to continue doing, right? How do more people learn about how City Hall impacts our everyday lives? And so I'll just explain really briefly how you get a park to be fully built. It has to go through a design phase. First, you have to get the money. Then it has to go through a design phase. Then it has to go through a construction phase. And the design phase gets broken up into 4 different parts. And let's say once it hits 30% design, you go back to the community and you have a meeting on what progress has been made. And one of the things that we proactively did was we checked in with parks and we said, hey, you're going to hit 30% design in a month. Can we schedule the community meeting? We will go door to door, reach out to the neighbors, get them to come. We'll take care of the food. We'll take care of everything. You just come and do your part that is very needed, right? And we helped push the project along the line. Because when we're not moving that, the Parks Department, understandably, has a lot on their plate, and sometimes they get behind a little bit with carrying so many of these logistics. So 3 months added to 3 months can turn into years behind delay. So I do think that staff and council has a lot of authority in making sure that these projects are moving forward.
Yeah, that's great. But I would just want to just change the course just a little bit. And I want to talk about homeless. And AJ, the other day, I think he texted me, and I studied homeless, I'm going to tell you. And it's personal with me with homeless. I got a brother that's out there homeless. I think he get, I don't know, $1,000, $1,100. I'm talking about it because, he's my brother. I got 2 cousins out there that used to be called a rescue mission. Now it's called Paparello House. And on that area over there, it used to be Kerr Rugs. It's like Skid Row over there right now. And guys, I'm going to just go to each one of you, and we might take a little long on this subject right here. I understand, about safe zones and safe camps. But the question is, I don't want them over there next door to me. And these guys that's across the street, they be homeless, but don't nobody come on this side of the street because it's some rules over here. You can't come over here. You see all those homeless out there right now, and so let's just start with who want to take it first? Nav, can you talk about homeless?
Sure. I really think
Make everybody understand it though, and they got to feel it. Some of us know it from firsthand, real life.
Yeah,
like me.
and it is a really tough issue to talk about. And I think one, there's many reasons why someone becomes homeless. And for me, one of the things that I think that as a city we have to do a really much better job is addressing those root causes, ensuring that we keep people in their homes, whether it's they're getting priced out or potentially facing an illegal eviction. The more we can do as a city to prevent people from going homeless it is ultimately how we're going to decrease the number of unhoused individuals on our streets. That said, I really think when it comes to addressing our street unhoused population, we have to be building more, whether it's short-term shelters, tiny homes, long-term shelters. Want to see that capacity for the city to have people in city shelters. Want to see increased collaboration between the city and the county. I don't believe the county has built a homeless shelter in the last 5 years. So the city's taken on the brunt of that responsibility, and I want to see the county step up. But I know you brought up the safe zone idea.
What about Blackstone and Dakota? What's they building right now? I'm sorry.
I think that's a long-term shelter per se,
Okay.
a housing project. But yeah, really just want us to look at what's working in other cities. San Jose's done a great model in terms of building tiny homes at a cheap rate, at a fast rate, and ensuring we can replicate those types of models towards addressing our unhoused population. I think I hear it from residents, from whether it's homeless individuals sleeping in front of their front lawns, going through their trash, staying at their parks. So I think the community is a little frustrated. At the same time, I think we can find a way to bring compassion, bring job training programs, mental health diversion programs, drug abuse rehab programs, in helping folks reenter society.
Worried about the money. Where are you going to get the money from?
I mean, one of it is the county hasn't been paying its fair share. A lot of the existing city funds have been coming from state grants. And I think a lot of those early state grants, I think the city called it Project Off-Ramp, that money was going towards, taking people off from our alongside our highways and our on-ramps. But really, I think we need to take a focus at addressing encampments within neighborhoods.
Okay, great. And then just before we go to the next person, this is personal. I don't think that because you're homeless and you might have some mental issues, I don't think they should be locked up. But when you guys talk about it, I want you guys to touch that too. Who want to go next? This is kind of touchy.
You basically agree. Why don't you go do then I talk my talk, because you basically agree.
Why do you think I agree?
You basically agree, unless yesterday you agreed too.
This is what a debate is about now, baby.
I
Take
just
your gloves off. You on the
You're
Doug
the same
Best
line.
show, huh? Let me see.
Cálmate, Doug. Cálmate.
Okay. Cálmate mean calm down, baby. Geez, you don't know. Okay, take.
No, I just don't want
That's the
words
power
being
of
put
your
in my mouth.
vision right now, baby.
But I do agree
Miss
with.
Martinez Lott.
I do agree with a lot of what Nav said, because ultimately we have to do a better job of getting more housing for our community. It's a really complex issue. The housing project in Dakota and Clinton, Dakota and Blackstone, it's going to be especially for a lot of our veteran communities. But you asked the question of, where would the money come from? I think we can be really creative and not just look at just the government. There's a lot of churches in Fresno that want to do good work with our community, right? And so there's some state laws that just passed that are going to help make it easier for faith institutions that
They don't
want
have no
to
money,
build
though.
housing.
The churches don't have no money?
Some do.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Some do.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to take away from her time,
No,
but
no.
I think I look at the Fresno Mission and their city center project, which is right outside the border of District 7. And it's a great
The
model.
rescue mission, that's the Paparillo house now.
No, I'm talking about City Center. It's run by the Fresno Mission. It's a faith-based homeless shelter, essentially, and they provide wraparound services without government funds, by and large.
That's right on Dakota, right?
It is on
Dakota and
Blackstone.
Blackstone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little further down is going closer to First, Fresno Street. I know the one you're talking about.
It's
It's a new
northeast
building.
side of Dakota and Blackstone.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there are a lot of churches that we actually the city just broke ground in one in southwest Fresno. The church partnered with a community development corporation to build on church property, and it just helps make the process so
You're
much
talking about
easier.
Abundance Church? I used
Yep.
to own that property right over there. Right.
Oh, look
on
at
that
you!
corner.
You're being a part of the solution, Doug.
No. I'm an entrepreneur.
You need
that,
to
though.
you need to go and sell more properties to churches so we can keep these going. Okay. But yeah, it just makes it easier for them to build because going through building process is incredibly complex. So we need those kinds of creative solutions. There's also models where there's housing for people. Instead of it just being 3 months, it becomes for a year, and then they have longer to work on things like job training, going back to school, getting wraparound support. So, and for me, I'm assuming we will talk about this at some point, but many of the folks that have been following me know that I'm very clear on where I stand on the city growing outward, because we keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
That's CETA. That's what you're talking about.
The
We'll
city
talk
wants
about
to
that.
expand outward with CETA. But that is a part of this conversation, because the more that we continue to take resources from our existing neighborhoods, from the older, most disinvested neighborhoods, that is where you end up having so many of these growing issues with homelessness. And it starts at a very early age, where kids don't feel like they have a safe place to go to, where they're struggling with a struggling education system, right? But also, let's be real. There is a reason why certain parts of Fresno attracts more issues with homelessness. Is because it is the same areas that the city continues to be left behind. So I do think that we need to have a proactive approach while also addressing the serious issues that are going on right now. I worked with a lot of residents that were having issues with an encampment being built in an empty lot right next to them, and there was fire starting. So we had to proactively enforce and cite and sometimes put penalties on these individuals that were creating safety issues for individuals and for businesses. So I am not against enforcing when there are certain individuals that are violating other people's properties. We have to do that, but I do not agree with a policy that criminalizes an entire community.
Yeah, I agree with that. And AJ, I just want to is this an issue that you're afraid of? I don't know. Because, guys,
That's my
these are the
issue.
city council candidates running for District 7. And why they're here on the show, they want your vote. June 2nd, they trying to knock this thing out the park. So if you win June 2nd and you get 50% plus one, that means that you're the city council for District 7. Navkaran Gurm, he's running for District 7. Miss Martinez Lott, she's running for District 7. AJ Rassamni, I keep screwing his name up. He's running for District 7. And this is why we're here talking right now.
Yeah.
We talking about them giving you vision. AJ, we want to know, is homelessness a subject that you're a little afraid of? Because I can't tell. Or what?
No, so I started Black Submersion Association in
I'm teasing
2016
it now.
just because of to confront the homelessness. So first I want to say, what did District 7 is it is the poorest district in Fresno. What did District 7...
No, I'm in there and ain't poor now. No.
Well, you should walk there. We don't have anything that in District 7 we can say, oh, wow, look at this new building. And But basically, what did District 7 get from one Fresno, except for the homeless people dumped in District 7? They were
Now,
dumped District 7,
what
District
did we
5.
get? He worked for Nelson. What did District 7 get?
Yeah, I think we've invested, I'll share a little bit of Nelson's record. I mean, we've invested in neighborhoods that hadn't had their streets repaved in 40 years. Nelson's delivered citywide policies that are going to set up.
I
the
could
district for
attest to that
success.
one right there. I'm on one of those streets. Go ahead.
Your neighborhood was
Beautiful,
one that was
okay.
repaved recently, and really every neighborhood in District 7 deserves that. Every neighborhood in Fresno deserves that. I think there is a track record. I mean, the city of Fresno, it covers portions of Council District 3 and Council District 7 along the Blackstone corridor in downtown. an enhanced infrastructure financing district, which is basically a state mechanism that allows us to capture a higher percentage of our local property tax revenue and reinvest that in infrastructure. And I think that's going to pay its dividends for Fresno over the next 30, 40 years. But I'll let AJ continue.
Yeah, so let's stick to one subject at a time. So look, if
That's
you
the
have,
same subject. We're just saying,
Yeah.
I want to know what did Nelson do that you said that they didn't do.
Yeah, but
No.
we have to stick to the homeless, so we can talk about the homeless a little bit. So basically, if you have a house flooding, so what the government normally does, they go there with the bucket and start throwing the water out, but they never check on the source of the water and shut it off. That's exactly what's happening with the homeless issue in Fresno. So if you look for the last 20 years, every candidate running for office, they say, oh, we're going to house people. We're going to build more house, more tiny homes. I mean, that's the same issue that we're hearing today. But that hasn't worked for 20 years. Just look at the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, the city has spent $500 million on housing the homeless. Yet today we have 50% more homeless people on the street. So it's not working. What the city said on the dais, they said, oh, we're going to spend another $300 million from your taxpayer money on something that's not working. So that's not working, and that's called insanity to keep on doing what we're doing and expect to get different results. So what I'm asking for, what I'm saying is safe zones. And safe zone is the humane thing to do. It's a win-win-win for everybody. So let's look at somebody on the street today. Somebody lives on the street. They struggle every day to get water, to get food, to get the drugs because they need the drugs to take shower, and then their health is deteriorating. This person has no chance to recover and come back to the society. So what I'm saying with the safe zone, and I talk to the homeless, and they tell me the reason they do not go to housing is because they want to the first thing they want in the morning when they wake up is they need the drugs so they can function. So let's listen to the problem. This is what we need to listen to. We need to listen to them so we can solve the problem. So what I'm saying, and I ask them, and I know homeless people on Black Zone, a lot of them have my phone number. They call me when they need help. Is how about we put you in a safe zone, in a safe camp, that we can provide the basic services you want, water, food, shower, but we'll also provide the proper treatment for you, the proper medication for you. We'll have faith-based there to help you. We have AA there to help you. We have NA there to help you. And we put you in a good environment, away from the drug dealers, away from the gang members on the streets. And then we also provide a job for you, provide job training for you. And they all say yes, because when you can talk to them, when they take the edge off, you can talk to them. They're very nice people. They're very logical people. They want to work and they want help. So let's do what's right that can create a win-win-win for everybody. It's a win for the residents because today residents feel they're prisoners in their own home. I've talked to too many people that say, they broke into my house, and that's why every residence, you see, they have fences and have gates to protect themselves. Let's talk, it's a win for the businesses, because I know from experience, when you have homeless encamped in front of business, the business, basically, they lose everything they have, because think of yourself. Are you comfortable going to a restaurant when you see a homeless encamping outside? I've talked to people in District 7 and say, look, I have a store next to me, but I don't shop over here. I go somewhere else to shop because I'm uncomfortable going here. When I walk, they ask me for money and they're in front of me, and I'm afraid to go to that shop. So we are losing. Businesses are losing. They're going out of business because of that. Residents are not happy. So it's a win-win for everybody, for residents, for businesses, for the homeless population, and also for the city, because it takes the strain away from the police and the fire department. Just one fact. The fire department says 50% of the fire in Fresno is because of the homeless, and the homeless are 1% of the population. And I know from my experience, 70 to 80% of people break into properties, they're homeless. So, but they break in because they want to get something for their medication. So, but this is the main issue. This is something that the crack foundation of the city that we need to solve first.
Yeah, AJ, thank you. I'm listening to what you're saying. I could feel the passion in what you're saying, but I just gotta just push back just a little bit, because I'm a product of the mud and I'm a product of the streets. You cannot, if someone is addicted to crack, you can't give them no medication. If someone is addicted to methamphetamines, you can't give them no morphine, or you can't give them nothing like that. If somebody's addicted to heroin, maybe. Second thing, and I feel your passion, man. I believe you. I'm watching you because I could see in your eyes that you know what you're saying. You're not saying this because you want to be elected and become a city council, maybe go be the governor, nothing like that. I could tell that what you're saying, you know, is true. But the only problem is that I see right here, where are you going to put it at?
Yes.
I don't want you to put it next door to my house.
Yes.
I don't want you to put it next door to my sister's house.
Yes.
And everybody can see what you're saying. Some of the things that you're saying is facts-based. But do you think that you know that the mayor, that they didn't, and the governor, they didn't came here and spent millions and millions of dollars and they ain't thought about this? So you saying we're going to take 10,000, 5,000 homeless people and then you're just going to move them to like a little camp and they're going to go, no. They're going to feel like you're trying to enslave them, man. You're trying to put them in prison. My brother and my brother and my cousins, them's out there. I talked to them. I sent you a video the other day when I was just right down there at the rescue mission, Poverello House. I was talking to the people, so I'll be prepared when we come on the show. If anybody could figure out this homeless thing, they wouldn't have no problem becoming the mayor, the governor, whoever it is. This is the hardest issue that I see possibly to solve.
So can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so...
the homeless is right across the street over there right now. I talk to them 7 days a week.
Yes, so there's good examples that we can follow, we can learn from. If you go to Los Baños in 2025, they started a safe camp, and you can see the result. I've researched it; is very positive, because you need to treat them as human beings. It's inhumane to leave them on the street, take them off everybody's property, and take care of them. Because now the way we have it today, look, I'm on Blackstone. And I see somebody in a car that stopped. They're from church. Say, hey, I'm looking for Danny. And for the last 45 minutes, I'm trying to give him service. I promise we're going to house them. 45 minutes to try to find a person. So instead, so we can have them concentrate in one place that all the services goes to them. So now where we're going to have this, it could be a partnership between the county and the city and Clovis and Madera. It could be the city by itself. It could be every district by themselves. But there are certain conditions. It has to be a minimum 2,000 feet away from any residence, any business, any school, any
That's
parks.
not far enough, man. Nobody's going to...
Then we can make it 3,000 feet. So it has to be away from residents. So I'm not going to put feet on it. It has to be away from residents, from businesses, where we provide all the service for them right there. So we need to find locations. There are certain locations. I'm not going to put the locations out because they will be burned. But basically, the goal is they have to be away from residents, businesses, schools, and parks. So today on Blackstone and Dakota, the city purchased properties within less than 1,000 feet from schools and churches. And there's the municipal code. Sorry, I don't know what's the number, but it basically says the city cannot put any homeless shelter within 1,000 feet from schools and churches and parks. Yet it is close to 3 schools. We had kids from Fort Miller were recruited to gangs. We have the kids going to these schools. They see
now the homeless,
they see needles on the street.
Wait, AJ.
Housing is...
The homeless don't recruit gang members, so don't conflate those. I understand your point. Then we're gonna go to something else.
Yeah.
Wait, let me just fix you right
So
here.
let me fix that. Can I fix
wait.
it?
When
you have homeless,
wait. I don't want you to just overtalk the people because
Yes.
because I'm the people. I'm out here in the real world, even though I'm successful. My family members are most of the homeless people. A lot of the homeless people's out there because they want to be out there. But we don't want to dwell on this one too long. I get your point. I feel your compassion. But what the thing is, man, there's nobody that's going to spend $300,000, $400,000 is finna let you move a homeless shelter close to them. That's not going to happen. But let's go 2 more seconds on this here, and then let's move to something else.
There's a Fresno Municipal Code, Article 25-9, Article 25, Section 9-2502, and written by the city and voted in by the city. And it says basically, when you bring certain kind of people, put them in a new area, like drug addict, you most definitely going to ruin that area because it's going to bring an entourage of people to that area.
It's true.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. It's not really the homeless, but it's the entourage of people that hang around that area is what recruited people to gangs and what put the needles on the made it dangerous for kids to walk to school, for kids to walk to parks. So it made it unsafe. So this is something this city created.
No.
knowing that
Now
that's
the
what's going to
city
happen.
didn't create homelessness. No,
They
no,
created
no,
that situation on Black Zone in Dakota.
I could go with that one. Now, this is what the debate is all about. But now, let's just change the gears just a little bit. Miss Martinez Lott, I know you gotta go in a few minutes. Y'all on the Doug Best Show, everybody that's out there right now, they trying to convince you, they talking to your mind, to touch your heart, for you to move your feet on June 2nd to go out there and vote for them for City Council District 7. These are candidates. They want to be City Council District 7 people. And then, can we talk about this issue? SEDA.
Yeah, SEDA.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
now,
that's
take
the
us
issue
away.
that's going to define the future. of
AJ,
our
you know
city.
that issue?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Now, can you like educate, just the average person so
Yeah,
we can understand it better?
I'll jump into that. I did want to quickly circle back on the homelessness. And me and AJ have had this conversation before. We have a pretty strong agree to disagree.
You agreeing with him?
No, I
Okay.
disagree with the concept of safe zones. And frankly, I think, Doug, you were asking the right questions. There isn't a location that makes sense. I think based on what I heard from AJ, maybe we would go put it somewhere in the county, and that's not something I would ever do either. And ultimately, Los Banos may have a successful example, but they're also a much, much smaller city than us with a much, much smaller homeless
pueblo,
population.
it's a town.
Unhoused population. So if it's, giving folks 10 individuals a space to set up a tent, sure.
10,
but,
yeah.
Fresno, our number is much, much higher. So, I wouldn't put a homeless encampment, a mass kind of wholesale homeless encampment next to my neighborhood. I know AJ wouldn't next to his. I'm sure you wouldn't want that next to your neighborhood. And really,
I don't even want them to come across the street over here.
Yeah,
they don't. 'Cause they know
and
the
ultimately, I
consequences.
think it's gonna end up. We're basically setting up a neighborhood for failure and for them to bear the brunt of this problem. Whereas I actually think we need to diversify it more. Right? A majority of the city's homeless shelters are in Council District 3. I'd like to see those be located in North Fresno as well, as we're addressing the homelessness issue in Fresno. But now I do want to circle back to SEDA.
What exactly is SEDA?
So the SEDA is a plan to expand into southeast Fresno, approximately 9,000 acres, really, from the southeast corner all the way up to kind of where Clovis Unified is building the Tom Bradley education, or they built the Tom Bradley Education Center where Clovis South High School is. And it was, I think, drawn up by the city 40 years ago. It's land that's granted to the city from LAFCO, which is the local agency that dictates the city's sphere of influence and city boundaries. So that land is currently not inside the city of Fresno, but it is in the city's sphere of influence. And if the city were to grow there, it would need a specific plan. Largely, the issue with SEDA is when you grow the city in any portion of town, the city has to put in roads, sewer lines, street lights, sidewalks, and then if as you're expanding, you have to build police stations, fire stations, and right now our city's general fund is not in a financial position, I believe, to allow for that growth.
Right. And so the average person, and they sitting there and they listen to these, hey, Doug, what is he talking about, this SEDA stuff? How is that going to affect me? That's what the people in District 7 is concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the general fund is what we use to maintain our parks. Now we have Measure P. It is what we use to pay for our police and fire service. It's what pays for infrastructure, our roads, our sidewalks, and other city services. So if you're utilizing the general fund to expand the city boundaries in another portion of town, you're ultimately taking away resources from the services that general fund provides. So that's going to mean money being pulled away from our ability to conduct core city services, which includes infrastructure within District 7 neighborhoods.
So what's the city city council now and the Honorable Mayor Jerry Dow, how do they look at it, right? Are they in favor or are they against it?
So the SEDA came to the city at a meeting. Ariana was also there. What month was this?
December 8th.
December.
She remember the exact day.
She did. SEDA came to the city council in December. The mayor had a proposal that I think had a lot of shortcomings. And the council members, on a 5-2 vote, I think sent back the mayor some very specific instructions on really what I believe should be lines in the sand on studying the issue and its fiscal impact further. So I think it's supposed to return to the council sometime in June.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So where does the
M
mayor
corridor.
stand on it?
The mayor is supportive.
And Miss Martinez Lott, what's your stance on? Wait. So now you for it or against it? You saying in the present form you're against it?
I've been against it. Really, I think I've taken some very hard lines in the sand positions. Any version of city expansion anywhere that has any negative impact on our general fund, I would always oppose.
Okay. And then AJ, you want to go first or you want to go first?
Sorry, I guess I've heard. I'm confused because I've heard you say that you
Wait a
don't.
minute, this is debating.
AJ, right?
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry, but AJ and I are looking at each other like, do you support it? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes
Wait,
you
it's just Nam,
support
you
an
said-
expansion.
I've very much had a consistent.
Nam, you better come on now, man.
Yeah, I've had a very consistent position that applies to SEDA, that applies to any other future growth areas.
Miss Lott, Martinez Lott, stop it. She punching. Okay, go ahead.
Our current taxpayers should not pay for growth. Our city's current revenues should not pay for growth. That's been my consistent position. So, I have not seen a plan that I would support, and that's why I've been opposed.
But you are open to potentially supporting a plan if proposed.
Sure, and it would have to have some very strict guidelines that ensure that developer fees, infrastructure financing districts, and hard lines in the sand that don't allow our existing neighborhoods to be negatively impacted by any means whatsoever.
I think that's the hard thing is that during campaign season, it's so easy for candidates to make promises, right? And one of the things for me over decades, we have heard the same thing from the city as it continues to expand outward. We need more housing. It's going to bring in more revenue. It's going to help the entire city. Yet time and time again, we see our neighborhoods being left behind. In a certain portion of our district, there was a newer development that got built. And I've heard from a lot of the families that when they signed their contract, the houses were under construction and the developers were going to build a state-of-the-art 10-acre park. It was going to have a beautiful playground, all
Where's
the
this
amenities.
at? Where's it at?
It's like in the eastern portion of District 7, like in the Shields and Temperance area. So, of course, the families were excited, especially as, they had babies at the time. And I've heard from some of them directly. And they moved in. The house was in construction. And at some point, that 10-acre park turned into a 2-acre green space. And ultimately, who has authority over those decisions? It is City Council. City Council approved that 10-acre park project. And then years later, when the houses were built, when the families moved in, when the public wasn't quote unquote looking anymore, City Council made exceptions for these developers, right? And I think that's what we all have to be very cautious of this time when candidates or elected officials say things like, I don't support the current plan as it is.
You're talking about Nav.
I'm talking about multiple people.
Okay.
Because that is the narrative that we hear right now is that we don't support the current plan as it stands. But in reality, what oftentimes happens is when the city can propose it on paper in a certain way, that if you pass it through council, you're essentially greenlighting the entire project. And like I mentioned, it's really easy for a future council to turn that around and change the policy that a current council did. So that happens historically in our city where developers will get policies changed again and again for their benefit. And I think that's what we have to be weary of. And we have an opportunity as a city to set a priority that is going to actually focus on our existing neighborhoods and say no to the ongoing outward growth, because some version of SEDA is still SEDA.
Yeah, I got you right there.
Are you done with SEDA?
Just hold on 1 second right
You
here.
make him forget what I'm going to talk about.
No, you ain't gonna forget. I'm
I
gonna
think you were gonna.
No, we got. I want to just. We got a couple of questions here, so we want to make sure that we keep the listening audience out there, guys. Just what you have these kind. It's like a debate forum. So what end up happening? Everybody's speaking their mind. We got one guy out there. His name is. Let's make sure I say his name. Ariana Martinez. He says, Doug, sound like your NAB is paying you. Hey,
I did not pay you.
No, he paid.
No, Doug's a real one.
No, our costumes. You got to give me some millions. And then it says, Doug, sounds like NAB is paying you. Let him fight his own battle. NAB is teaching me. And then James Mr. Johnson says, NAB's answer, I don't support it because it only supports good things. Also, NAB, I'm proud to have the endorsement of Mayor Jerry Dyer. This is a guy named James Miser Jr. He says, NAB, I'm also proud that you have the endorsement of Mayor Jerry Dyer. And somebody else said earlier about they agree with AJ. And just stay with him. I'm just reading a couple of questions. We're going to go. AJ, I got you. Don't forget where you at, AJ.
I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, oh my God, you're gonna remember.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we got to
It's not
keep.
you, it's him.
Yeah, we somebody right here says Maurice Simpson said West Fresno Street, see soon. But this is District 3, West Fresno. This is District 7 that they fighting about. It says James Miser Jr. says NAB answered, I don't want homeless people in my neighborhood. So you agree with NAB and you don't agree with him. In any neighborhood, okay, they will always be there. I guess stay with me. I'm just a few things that people talk about.
For that listener, that was in response to a safe zone next to a neighborhood.
Okay, yeah. No, he said he was agreeing with you. He says safe zones work. Another, Mr. Miser says safe zone works in San Jose. And he's agreeing with AJ. And then I'm going to go with you, AJ, real fast. And Mary says fact check District 7 is not the poorest in Fresno. It goes to show that AJ is not educated on the overall Fresno. I'm just saying what they're saying right here. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. It says, and Eileen Reed, I'm just a few more. Eileen Reed says at comments on infill housing. I'm not too familiar with that. And So Fresh De Niro says, beautiful transparency, Doug. And then AJ, let's just go back to you. Did you remember what you need something to write it down?
Nobody has paper and pen, I'll take notes. But anyway, so I want to say,
this is great, guys.
What I heard from you is basically yes. So the question is, if you don't put them in safe zone, basically we're telling everybody, the voters, the residents of Fresno, say, we're going to keep them next to your houses and your businesses because we're not going to put them in safe zone. This is one. Two, I want to say I'm running as independent. I refuse to get any political endorsement, and I don't have any special interest.
Somebody paying the bills. Where the money coming from?
No special interest pack behind me. Okay. So and for me, I'm running for people before politics. So let's talk about SEDA. So to make clear, SEDA. Let me say one more thing. Jerry Dyer, when first time he was putting SEDA on agenda, somebody asked him, "Are you going to put it on agenda this week?" He said, "No, I'm going to postpone it 2 more weeks because I want to educate the council members so I can get a yes vote." But I thought you're servant of the people. You represent the people. What about the people is going to affect? You don't want to get their feedback on it? So I am no for SEDA the way it is today. No for SEDA the way it is today. No for SEDA. It has to have vote of the people that are going to be affected by. No for SEDA unless we remove red tape and make it easier for developer to develop in the infill. And no for SEDA.
What is the infill? Could you educate us on infill?
Yeah.
Okay.
The inner city. Okay. And no SEDA.
It's when you're building housing in empty or existing city limits. So, like we have a lot of empty lots in a lot of our most disinvested neighborhoods like District 3, District 7.
I'm building houses over there.
Yeah. So that's an infill project. That would be an infill project. Mm-hmm.
I'm just teasing. Go ahead.
No SEDA. Let me finish, please. Because no SEDA unless, and I forgot what I was going to say. No SEDA unless we figure out it's going to cost $4 billion to build the infrastructure for SEDA. Who's going to pay for it? We cannot build and worry about infrastructure. We need to know where that money is coming from to build it first. So again, we cannot pass it without the approval of community. It's going to be affected by, and we should do one section at a time whenever we get there. But also, we cannot start SEDA unless it is tied to the infill, like they did in New York. So New York, when they're building skyscraper, they said, "Oh, you're going to build here, but you need to build an inner city," and they gave them tax credit to give them incentive to build it. So I was talking to a council member. I said, "Why don't the developer build in the inner city?" They said it's too expensive. I said, "Then whose fault is it?" I mean, if it takes 2 years to get the permit, if it's we have a lot of impact fees. So obviously, it's
That's
economic
true.
101. Nobody will invest in something unless they know they're going to make money. I mean, they have to make money. So why not give them, remove the impact fee? Why not make it by right to build? And why not give them tax credit to build? Because that becomes a win-win-win for everybody. Because Fresno only builds an average of 26% of the homes we need every year. And that's why homes are very expensive. So we cannot go blame everybody else. The city has to blame themselves and say, what can we do? Give incentive to build. For example, a lot of homes are being built in Madera. A lot of people who work in Fresno today, they live in Madera. They're buying a house in Madera because it's more affordable. And the city just said, they're buying in Madera. So why don't you find out why they're buying in Madera, moving to Madera, and say, okay, if this is the reason why, then why don't we implement the same reasons over here? So the only person the city can blame, it is themselves and nobody else.
Okay. And then, Miss Martinez Lott, I know you got to go.
I can do another 10 minutes. And
Talk
I
to
apologize.
me, baby.
I
She
apologize.
like it again. Talk to me, Dougie. I like this, the Doug Best Show. And
You
now
know,
I see.
I'm on Latina time, so
Oh, my God.
yeah.
I love that.
But I do apologize to everyone. I had already committed to a group of neighbors that had invited me to a gathering. But I still wanted to try and make this happen as well.
Yeah, you're making it happen, man. I'm loving this right here. Any politician or candidate out there, man, if you don't come get on the Doug Best Show, I'm going to be asking for like 25 push-ups.
I can't do push-ups.
Oh, my God.
I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, but before we go real fast. So, Nab, you got the endorsement of the Honorable Jerry Dyer. And then, AJ, I seen on one of your signs, you say you got the endorsement of the Honorable.
I did not say that.
No. Wait. This is a positive for you.
Okay.
Audrey, the farmer,
Yes,
the
sorry
former
about
city
that.
mayor. And then from Miss Martinez Lott, who you got the endorsement of? The moms and the dads and the neighbors.
Yes, that's my most proudest endorsement.
And then Nab. So also I seen you got the endorsement of the firefighters. And that's just telling me from my memory. Who else that you got?
Yeah, I mean, since
That's a positive. That
since
means
I started this campaign, I've called myself a coalition builder, and that's just kind of been the style of person I've always been, about trying to bring people together. So we have a pretty decent-sized endorsement list, and includes firefighters, teachers, our Chamber of Commerce,
former city councilmen.
A couple council members and a couple former council members. So
And then
really
Miss Esmeralda Sordia. I seen you guys together. Y'all like friends?
Yeah, we're still. We've had a few conversations. I don't know if she's formally. I have a great relationship with Esmeralda Soria, but I don't know if I have her formal endorsement just yet. Need to give her a call.
And then Miss Martinez Lott. So who all you got? You got the regular peoples, the moms, the dads, the people in the neighborhoods, and the people.
Yeah, well, that's really why I'm running. I've been involved in organizing alongside other neighbors for the last 15 years. So with that comes knowing people across our district, because they've been doing really good work, whether it's the Jackson neighborhood, people in the Hidalgo neighborhood, in the Mayfair neighborhood. These are individuals that I've known for years. And I think it's a part of our collective effort to ensure that we're creating opportunities for our kids and for our families to be able to have a good place to live in Fresno. So I am really proud of that. But I also have endorsements from Dolores Huerta, who's fought a lot for human rights all her life. And I also have endorsements from some of the teachers unions as well, and some of the labor unions, because they know that at the end of the day, many of them didn't know me before this campaign. And over the last year, what I've heard time and time again from some of the unions is, you are in this because you care about people and you want to fight for working families. I'm really proud of the endorsements that I have.
Yeah, and then before we came in here today, AJ texted me and said, do you know Maribel, Analia, and Joe next door? And I went over and talked to him. And then I went and talked to a bunch of people. Man, a lot of people know this guy. And sometimes, you know what, AJ, sometimes, you know, he's like a change agent, and sometimes people don't agree with him because he's passionate about when he started doing something, but everybody knows him. I went and checked, man. You know, I'm one of them people I did my checking. So look, guys, this is what we got. We got a gentleman that's done lived a lot of years, and he got a lot of wisdom, and he's been around a long time. He's an entrepreneur. He says he's a book writer. He's a consultant. And we got a mom that she didn't live some life, and she's seen how the city is going, and she says, you know what? A regular person could change this. Then we got a young man with a brilliant mind that went off to college, and he didn't talk about this. He got a JD, that means he's an attorney, and he didn't work down at the city hall for a little while. He's 26 years old, and the mayor says, you know what, this guy is up and coming. And then you got the city councilman, Nelson, right now, that's endorsing him. So man, we got this is a tight race. And then everybody's here on the Doug Best Show, fighting it out, baby. Trying to fight it out with some civility. With fighting it out with some civility. They trying to, June 2nd, they trying to knock this thing out the ballpark so you know they could be the city councilman for District 7. And guys, and so as we come to the end, what's your pet peeve that you want to talk about? I'm going to ask you everybody this. I told my senorita, she says, don't ask him this. Man, is it any day that you wake up in it? Sometimes this morning, somebody called me at 6 o'clock. Doug, are we working today? Man, you know we working, but we're not working at 6 o'clock in the morning, baby. Is it any time that you wake up in the morning? Because I know this is a lot of work. And Nav and Miss Martinez Lott and AJ, is it any time you be saying, man, I got enough money and I got enough problems already. I don't want to do nothing. I quit. Hey, man, tell me, man, just what the real people want to hear out there. Because sometimes everybody says, I don't feel like going to work. You guys ever feel like that, Nav?
Honestly, no. You know, I think
don't political answers, man. The people could tell, man. You know, okay, they looking at you right now.
No, I know we've all been out there knocking on doors, and it's getting hotter and hotter. So it is. It's a little bit harder to get started sometimes because of the heat. But
25 days left, baby.
25 days left, and I'm sure all of us will continue to be out there from now till Election Day.
That's June 2nd. You trying to win it on June 2nd, right?
June 2nd.
Yep.
Okay, Miss Martinez, talk to me. Is there any days you be saying, no, I'm just going to stay in the house with my babies. I ain't doing no canvassing. I seen AJ had 3 pairs of sneakers he had wore out.
I'll say this. There are a lot of times where it is really hard to leave my kids. Today was Friday, and I said, you know what, kids? Woke them up in the morning. I said, you guys are going to go to school late. Took them to McDonald's. Hung out at McDonald's for a little bit because I miss my kids a lot.
I believe you. I can feel it.
And this is not easy to do.
Oh my God.
But for me, ultimately, I look at this as this is the future of our neighborhoods. So I see this. I know I'm sacrificing a lot of time with my family, with my kids, with my husband, but this is also about them. And at the end of the day, I know too many families that live in the district that I've seen their conditions. There was one mom that she's been really involved in she was literally working because she works with all these organizations, right? So during the pandemic, she was using her cross-sector relationships to get food to her neighbor's house. But she would also come home to an apartment under slumlord conditions that had mold in the ceiling, and her kids are dealing with heavy asthma. So for me, this is about the families that I've grown to know and love over the last 15 years. And there are a lot of times where I have to not look at my kids as I walk out the door because it is really hard to leave.
Oh my God, that's touching right there. And then AJ, I know you're a businessman, and you got all those other different things. Some days you're saying, what am I doing this for? I can go retire and get on a plane and go to the Bahamas.
So, first I want to say I never worked a day in my life. It's because every day I wake up looking forward to do what I'm doing. So it's not work. I had a car wash for like 35 years.
Just 1 second, we got a caller calling in. Caller, how you doing? You on the Doug Best Show, and we on Facebook Live. You got a question?
Yes, I'll wait after the comments are done.
Yeah, AJ, can you guys some?
Yeah, so this is Mary because I know she's supporting him. She's gonna say stuff. But anyway, I mean,
We all know
it's a
Mary's
political
voice.
thing,
Oh, they
so-
say, hey,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so you from District 7?
Yeah, that's Mary Haskin. I can hear her voice.
Oh, she says,
She's on his side, and obviously she's gonna create stuff. But anyway, let me finish what I'm saying. So I
No, we got to take the call. She's not going to create.
30.
It's not going to be no stuff
Okay,
created
go
on,
ahead,
on
go
this
ahead,
show
go
right
ahead, go
here.
ahead.
What's
Yeah.
what's your question?
Well, I'd like to fact check. AJ didn't do anything with Manchester Park. That was the neighbors in 2020 with Nelson Esparza and Parks and everyone else. So I am offended that he wants to take credit for other people's work. AJ didn't have anything to do with it, and he likes to take credit for work, and it offends me and my entire neighbors. And the other point is, I would like to know why his one business that he manages has been closed for 5 years, and that's supposed to be an example. How are residents supposed to think that he can manage a city when he can't manage successfully a closed business that has been an eyesore?
So let me answer. So let me say,
AJ, I just want you to know, man, that when the callers come in, that's not necessarily not my thinking.
but
I don't know if
it's a
she's going to.
political thing. That's what she's calling. So look, let me say, Mary called me. I introduced her to the code enforcer. We walked the alley there a lot. We walked the park a lot. So you can ask the code enforcer. His name is Richard Salinas. He'll tell you what we did for the park. I was able, through the council member, get the park director there. We got through the council member money for the park to fix it, and through Aaron, the director, we paid more attention to that park. And the code enforcement and we were there almost on regular basis every day. And don't cut me off. Every day, making it uncomfortable for these people to be there. To get out. So yes, I had a lot to do with it.
You did not, AJ. I challenge you 1,000%.
I think you should talk to the code enforcement. But let's change that subject.
So the question is, right, is the park is fixed now. You talking about the one on Fresno Street and Shields between Shields and it's fixed now. Huh?
Yeah. So what
he asked the question, and then we don't want him to feel offended or nothing like that. Thank you for your call.
I can send you emails to prove what we did there, so I can send you those. So, but anyway, that's a political thing over here.
Okay. Thank you for calling us. Yeah, AJ, I don't want you to feel. I don't know what the people are gonna say when they call you, man. But you know, you handle it with some class. You know, and sometimes people is gonna agree with you. They're not gonna agree, but you still want to have some civility and keep doing what you're doing, man. And just keep pushing.
Yes. So I would say I've been doing everything as Black Motion Association, using my own time and resources.
Thank you, Mary, for calling us.
Even with my nonprofit, nobody in my nonprofit gets paid because I believe in giving back. Look, I won the Heroes Award from KC24. It was $2,000. And even when I won it, I said I would not take this money and distributed the money to 3 different nonprofit organizations. So I do not benefit from them. For me, I wake up every morning to serve others. I even got, by the way, 2015, I got the Citizen Award from Law Enforcement, 2015. So I've been recognized for what I do on Blackstone.
That's beautiful.
And Fresno, too.
Guys, you know, I want everybody out there, man. I want out there, Nav and Miss Martinez Lott and AJ, man. I'm happy that you guys came in. So what happened, this helps me, and I'm hoping it's helping you, and then it helped Mary that called. Mary that called says, can I call? And helped everybody. So the whole job here is what happened if you come get on this show, man. I was gonna say BS. It ain't gonna be no undermining, ain't nothing like that. Somebody came on one day and they was talking something about the guy named Vang. Said, man, we're not doing all that on this show. So if you come on this show, I'm gonna try to make sure that it's informative, everybody learn something from it, and then you guys have a little fun, and then you're able to talk about your vision. Yeah, AJ, I can see you're like a little sweating a little bit. But don't worry about it. You're doing a great job, baby. Everybody ain't going to love you, man. Everybody don't even love Barack Obama. Everybody don't love Donald Trump right now, if they ever loved him. Some
I
people don't love Jesus. Hey, guys, and then we're going to close it out. And then this is a book that I'm reading right here. This is what it's called right here. It's called The Power of a Vision. It's a dream. And so everybody got a dream, and everybody's got to try to find something that's bigger than them. That's what life is all about. Your kids, you pour all into them to make it bigger than you. And then the community, you pour all into the community to try to make it better for your kids and all the other people that you love that's around you. So I think that's why you guys are doing it. And then as we close it out, and everybody here, all three of them, they trying to get your vote. So June 2nd on the primary. They not saying that. I'm saying that. They trying to knock this thing out the park so they could be finished with it June 2nd. AJ, let's start with you. We're going to close it out. And what you want to tell the people what your vision is, but the people want to know, even though you got a vision, how is it going to help them, us, the regular people?
Yeah, so again, I'm not a politician. I entered this race because I saw the direction that the city is going, and I said we can do better. So the question is, I want you to imagine District 7 with no homeless encampments. And this is what I promised to do within the first 100 days. I'm the only one promising to do that within the first 100 days. I've done it in the past, and I can do it again. If you decide to support my opponents, and they're good people too, but the difference is they're going to keep those homeless people on the street in front of your house, in front of your business for the next 8 years. I'm the only one calling, move them, put them in a safe camp, because that's the most humane thing to do. By putting them in a safe camp, we're going to have safety and prosperity, because the fire department says 50% of the fire in Fresno is because of 1% of the population. From my experience, I know that 70 to 80% of break into properties is because of the homeless population. We have today 50% of the businesses that close do not reopen because of homeless encampment in the area. No one will open in an area that is not safe. No one will open the business in an area that have to convince people to come and shop there. And those are the problems we have. We need to make building in Fresno, because that's why I only build 26% of what we need housing every year. So we need to make it by right. We need to remove a lot of red tape. The way the city works today, the council members, it's really a part-time job. The council members have all the power, but the knowledge is with the departments on the bottom, like the planning department. Jennifer Clark, she's one of the smartest people I've met. She's very good to help. She knows exactly what to be done. But when everything goes to the council members, it's going to be affected by NIMBYism, it's going to be affected by special interest, it's going to be affected by the next office. So I'm saying we need to have ministerial. We need to give the power to the department and let them do the job. They know what to do better than us, and that's going to remove a lot of red tape. It's going to make, we're going to create a by right. So we need to increase the economy. We need to make it safe, and that's going to, and we need to improve the education in Fresno. And those are the three things I'm working on. And with your support, with your vote, we can have a different Fresno tomorrow than what we have today. Thank you.
That's beautiful. And then Nav and you and Miss Martinez Lott, you guys just flip a coin.
She can pick. You want me to go first or next?
Go.
I do want to address one of the other contrasts. I know me and AJ agree on safe zones, but also when it comes to,
we do not agree.
We disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Y'all
Misspoke. But when it comes to having more ministerial approvals and by right approvals, in certain situations it makes sense. But by and large, the city council is elected directly by the people. It's actually how the community gets a voice in the decision-making process. When projects come to the planning commission and the city council, it's an opportunity for the community to have feedback in it. So the more you're going to move towards ministerial and by right approvals, you're actually taking away the community feedback loop for why our system is designed the way it is. But that said, Doug, thank you for giving us this time. Thank you for creating this space. Look forward to seeing your show continue to do well. Thank you to AJ and Ariana. I know we've done this now a couple of times, and it's always fun. Really, in earnest, ask for the community's votes this June 2nd. Want to bring someone that brings a laser focus on making government work. when it comes to our parks, when it comes to our roads, when it comes to our sidewalks, delivering real accountable leadership for our district. And, one thing I always do is I leave my cell phone number at every door I knock on. I put it on every flyer, every mailer, and really want to be a council member that people can reach out to directly and is very directly accessible.
Right, Nav and then Miss Martinez Lott. So, dude, I'm just trying to see, man, is all three of you, are you guys confident? Like when I do something, I hate to lose. So are you guys confident?
We're working really hard.
Uh-huh.
We're working really hard to earn every neighbor's trust.
Okay, Miss Martinez Lott. Let's see if you could take us home.
Well, no, Doug, I will tell you, this has been one of my favorite forums.
Oh, I love this thing.
I'm not just trying to get your vote, although that would be nice.
Take the gloves off.
But Doug, what you
God.
just said, you just registered to vote. You don't know a lot about city council. This is
nothing about it. I know how to make money.
You're speaking to the core of why I wanted to do this, because at the end of the day, what I want to see at the end of my first term, if I get elected, is more people being engaged in this process.
This what the registration looks like too. So go ahead.
That's what's up. How hard? Let me ask you this: was it hard to register online?
No, it
No.
wasn't hard to register. It's so simple. I was finna go down there, but that sounded so simple.
Love it, love it. And I was right there with you. 15 years ago, it was actually a lot of my neighbors that a lot of them are undocumented, but they were the ones saying, hey, why do our parks look different than they do up north? They were advocating for safer streets for their kids. And they asked me, they said, hey, we don't have a traffic signal here for our kids to get to school. Who's our council member? You want to know what my answer to them was? What's a council member? And here I am, right? But it was because of my neighbors that were pulling me into this local work and teaching me about the importance of how local government is shaping our everyday lives. And so ultimately for me, I did not plan on running, but I'll be very upfront. I've said this multiple times. It just gets really tiring seeing that so many of our most disinvested districts get used as political stepping stones as people move into it right before launching their campaign. And then we don't see them. They're in Sacramento or they're living in Clovis, right? Or right away they're moving for their next position. This is our neighborhoods. This is where we're raising our families. This is where we can afford to live. So for me, it's ultimately about doing what I've been doing for the last 15 years. I'm not coming with fancy campaign promises when it's easy to give promises. I'm coming, showing what I've been doing for the last 15 years and how I will continue to show up for my neighbors. So that's the biggest thing is I will show up right after being elected because it's what I've been doing.
Oh my God. This is gonna be like, it's a nail biter. This is like Mayweather and Pacquiao. We don't know who's gonna win. It's gonna be a nail biter. So we got AJ Rassamni. Rassamni. Say it again. Rassamni. And like an Esmeralda, I kept messing her name up.
Yeah.
And then
Rassamni.
Ariana Martinez.
Okay, Doug, a lot of love to you. And I got to say, a lot of my black brothers, they call me Ariana. I don't know what it is.
What is it?
What is? Yeah, it's Ariana. You got to roll the R.
You know I can't.
Ándale, yes you can. You're with your señorita.
Oh
Try
my
it.
God. Yeah.
Ariana. There it is. Look at that.
Ariana. Martinez Lott. And then we got Navkaran Gurm. Man, I don't know who's gonna win, but man, this is like an honor of a lifetime. We got three.
I want to say, everybody's seeing my.
We all got them.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, wait! Hold it up so they can see him, man. Oh, let's go.
Whose is the prettiest?
770 yard signs for Fresno.
Oh my God! He definitely got a. Damn, you got a lot of signs too.
Hey, Doug, will you make us one promise? After this election, will you let us know who you voted for?
Hey, I got to tell you this right here. Not only did I register my senorita, I registered her sister, I registered her nephews, two nephews.
Love it.
Two Sabrinas. Oh my God. I registered about 9 people, Because I'm just saying I got to get them involved. And say, hey, deal. Hey, man, just do it, man. Just do it. Let's just do it. I mean, win, lose, or draw. And we're going to tell you who we voted for. But we're not going to be here. We'll leave on the 19th. We flying up out there. We're going to fly Guadalajara, Mexico City. And then from Mexico City, we're going to go to South Korea. And we're going to come back and go to Washington, D.C. But I'm going to take my microphone and I'm going to be interviewing people all over the world.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Oh, my God, guys. I'm so happy, man. And then everybody, if we got any other candidates, any other politicians, anybody that's out there want to come be on the Doug Best Show, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to try to be as civil as possible. But you know I'm from the mud, so sometimes it might slip through. But, guys, for all three of you guys, man, I love you and I appreciate it. And I know we went a little over. And then, AJ, man, you did a great job. And Miss Martinez Lott, you did a wonderful job. Nav, and you know you always splendid, man. This is going to be a hard one right here. This is the best one. District 7 candidate for city council. You guys vote June 2nd.
Ballots are already in the mail.
Ballots are already in the mail. Here they are. Booyah, baby! Yeah, we didn't even open the thing up. I was going to ask one of you guys to explain it, but then I seen Darren Miller. He's running for school board. He explained it a little bit. Okay, guys, the pleasure was all mine. In Spanish, it says, mucho gusto.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
todos.
Thanks, guys.
Gracias. Thank you.
Bye.
Gracias, gracias.